Step 5, preparing targeted traffic and PPC. So what you need to do here is set up 2 sponsored products campaigns within Amazon. One complete auto campaign, which is mainly for keyword validation and to ensure that you're not missing anything blaringly obvious. The second is a manual broad match campaign, which is filled with those top 5 keywords. Remember, those were the absolute best 5 keywords that were found, and we already validated them with Google Keyword Planner and Amazon Marketing Services, or the search suggestions thing. So both the auto campaign and the manual campaign should never run out of budget. The reason for this is because you want them to keep the sales velocity going. So on top of that, you want to make them have high bids because you want the number 1 spot. You want to be in the top on desktop, but overall 50% to 70% of your sales will come from mobile, and that only has 1 sponsored spot. So you need to be putting a high bid in and keeping your budget high so that you never run out and you always win the top spots. That'll keep your sales velocity going. That's going to help you to rank. Now I also set up AMS, or Amazon Marketing Services, headline search ads for the top 5 keywords, and then also set up AMS product display ads for the top 10 competitors on the page for each of the 5 top keywords. Now let me show you how I do that. So the first one is headline search. So select headline search as the advertising campaign that you want to create. Click on create a page, and then you can type in the ASIN of your product. Plus you are going to have 3 products selected in order to do this, in order to run a headline search. So if you already have a brand and you've got some similar, so say you sell dog bowls and you also do, I don't know, a dog litter tray and a cat flap or something like that, then select all 3 of those products by just typing in your ASIN and searching and then adding them in so that you've got 3 products here. If you don't have 3 products, then you can use variations. So you could use different colors. And if you still don't have that, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to do the headline search aspect. So you'll just have to pan through this video to the next section. Once you've done that, it'll allow you to move on, and you can put in a test name, a name for the campaign and a budget. Then comes the same bit that we've done before, which is the keyword adding. Now this time we're not using it for the traffic. We're basically just going to put 1 keyword in of the 5. So I've put in keyword 1 just for an example here. We're going to add it in as a phrase match. So the next bit is putting in your brand name. So this will be pre-filled, but I've just covered up my brand name by putting your brand. So you'll just type in the name of the brand, and then you'll also create a headline, and I think you get about 70 characters or something like that. So it has to be pretty snappy, but try and make it benefit rich. So I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs. You probably know how to do that. So put your headline in there, and then choose. You've basically got a few images to work with here. So you've got a feature image, which is sort of supposed to be your logo, but I'd generally put in an image of the product from a different angle. And then also you've got your product images. So as you know, you've selected 3 products previously. So as default, it'll be those 3 images. But what you need to do is, if, for example, you only have that 1 product and then you're just using variations, you can use the 3 variations. If you've got a dog bowl and then you're also selling other products that aren't a dog bowl, like your cat litter tray or something like that, then what I would probably suggest is that because you're targeting it based on a keyword to do with dog bowls, no one's going to buy a cat litter tray from that, or very few people. Plus that's not what we're trying to achieve anyway. So basically if you just click the images, you'll be able to get rid of them. So you can just be left with your headline, your 1 product image, and then also the main product image drawn from the Amazon listing. Then it's just a case of submitting it. So that's the headline search. The next one is the product display. So the product display is slightly different. Basically, how that one works is, if a customer goes into one of your competitors' listings, then underneath the buy box comes up a little ad. You may have seen them. These are called product display ads. So what you want to do is target it by products, not by interest. I've tried those. They're not very productive. By product. You want to select your product, so the one that you're selling. So I've taken the InnoGear one. That's not ours, but just for example purposes it is now. Then you want to target by product again. So then what you'll do is you'll type in the ASIN of the top 10 to 15 competitors for your product. So you need to go into the category for dog bowls and select the top 10 sellers or the top 15 sellers, take their ASINs and one at a time put them in here so that you've got 10 or 15 separate separate product display ads. The reason for that is because if, for example, you do really well on one for a competitor, say competitor A, that ad starts to produce very good returns, i.e. it's costing you less and generating you more sales, then you want to be able to keep that one on. And at the same time, if you've got one particular one which is just not doing very well at all, then you want to be able to turn them off. And the best way I've found to do that is to run them all separately. Otherwise, it's much more difficult to determine which is actually the one that's dragging up the average and which one is dragging down the average. And then another very important part is, even though Amazon recommends that you expand targeting to closely related products, I explicitly recommend that you turn that off, because they will put you in everywhere just in order to bump up your costs. So just don't take it. Just take the top 10 or 15 and run with that. Then what you want to do is give it a name, give it a cost per click. Again, I mentioned previously, keep it pretty high, because obviously you want the clicks, so you want to be shown as many times as possible. So give Amazon a reason to do that. Keep your budget as high as you can possibly afford to. You don't want it to run out. You want it to generate clicks all the time, as many as possible, because that's going to aid your sales velocity. Give it a headline again, it's benefit rich, brand name, and then you can also put in your brand logo. Again, it's designed for a brand logo, but I generally put in some sort of image of the product in use or something like that, just so that it stands out, sort of thing. And that's it. So then you'll just be able to submit the campaign at the bottom. So that's your 2 Amazon Marketing Services ads set up.